Alright, we are seconds away from industry. And this abhorrent looking slice of pizza I have in my hand will determine how much fun the rest of this playthrough is going to be. See what's on there? That's right. It's pineapple. And I'm worried my guy is going to like it. Oh, moment of truth. I was hoping for horrible. Yeah, we did get a bunch of baking done. I think I made it to level 3. Industry is here. Gimme. Thank you. Oh, all the advanced tables. All kinds of stuff, a lot of which I can't use. Oh, this looks terrible too. Tolerable. That's not bad. Stomach is full. I mean, I'm looking at this. It's the forest one? Fantastic Forest Pizza. What's on you again? Tomatoes, beans, camas bulb, and it looks like Alfredo sauce. I know one person that likes Alfredo sauce. He's a little strange. I don't talk to him much anymore. He's a little weird. Now that industry's got here, spot all ready for it. And I remembered I was working on this last time, and it's like, oh wait a minute, the press is 6 blocks tall. The lathe and shapers are just immense, so made a lot of room, a lot of empty space in this. So people's like, oh yeah, the painting's coming up. Yeah, I look forward to using this concrete and building the back rooms in Eco. Tell me that doesn't look like the back rooms texture. Welcome to our base that never stops expanding. We've got room for, I think these are shapers, 5x5x3 or something like that. The presses are going to go because I needed room up there, and these roll up doors. I will say that all that empty space, it lets a bit more light into the room. It doesn't seem quite as claustrophobic as it would if I didn't have it. Now, odds are I don't have any of the materials I need over here. Power grid has yeah, okay, whatever. Power grid is insufficient power. So I didn't put... Let's go all the way up there. Because I took out the ramp. Right, to make that giant room I had to take out the ramp that usually would have split the place. Like, use this as an example, right? So, it'd be a chunk of room with a spot in between. Now, imagine this ramp isn't here and it's like room. Like that, it's huge. Spot on the top. Power, I will bet you I have no charcoal over here. Of course I didn't bring any. 1 second, please. Have some charcoal, you hungry beast. Donk. You should have water. Save, yeah, this giant hole goes all the way down. I think my input is under there somewhere. Down is always faster than traveling up, so let's see. I have stuff? Okay, cool. Now I need to make all the other junk. Let me make the press first. I'm looking right at there. For real? Did I not hook you up to? Oh man, I am totally unprepared. Yeah, I was gonna go move a bunch of materials. I forgot I had this guy over here. I built 2 tables because before this last big update, you needed this guy to make barrels. Not anymore. The electric machinist table was where you made barrels for oil drilling. That has now been moved to the rolling mill. Hi. Barrel. Yeah, it's over at the rolling mill. As far as advanced smelting, so I can make a bunch. They're not bad for use as decoration. They're barrels, so when you got an industrial area you want to have look pretty, it is something you can use. And I had gonna set up one of these guys just to make barrels. And I was like, oh yeah, by the way, that's been changed. So what I can do, straight at it, to have you want a modern upgrade. I don't think I've made any of those. Don't think. No, just advanced. Because I don't know what's plates, doesn't it? Modern upgrade 1. Oh no, just steels and rivets. And basic research. I can knock a bunch of those out. Before I do that, however, so I've got this all queued up. An opportunity. This mess. This looks gross. That's believable. It does look pretty nasty. And finally, hearty hometown pizza, which is mushrooms. Oh, it's got mushrooms on it. I hate mushrooms so much in real life. It's so nasty. Really? Well, so much for the pizza party. Pizza party brought to you today by Mediocrity. And there's another thing I had forgotten about, is that the upgrades are now made with self-improvement labor, which means anyone can make them as long as you have the materials. Have you guys like that before? I don't remember. I'll have to go back and check. But it's also, it also gets affected by, I think this says it's static, right? Static value not. I managed to make 8 modern upgrades. Oh, just half of one. Okay, so you're getting... So it's worth it to make them 2 at a time at least. That's cool. We're not getting steel gears anytime soon because steel gears require epoxy? Epoxy. Yeah. So steel gears aren't going to be for a while because on our current chain, my next skill is advanced cooking. Really? It's turkey. What do you mean, yech? It's chicken. Everything tastes like chicken. How can you not have something that tastes like chicken? This game makes no sense. Anyway, let's get some stuff queued up over here, and then we can go wander around the rest of the world for a minute or two. So out here in the swamp, off there in the distance we have, well, we're going to get a bunch of oil from, but over here, this was, if you remember, this was nothing but grass, right? This was the weirdest biome change. I don't remember exactly where it changed, but it was I went from nothing to grass. But pumpkins grew over here, so I threw down some pumpkins. I left 4 in the ground. Got rid of all the grass. I think these spread they spread almost as fast as mushrooms. Don't tell me they don't spread. There were no pumpkins here before. For like 10 episodes. There were no pumpkins here before, there are pumpkins here now. So at some point, if I ever figured out how to speed the game up, to play with tick speed, I guess I could do a proper experiment on plant growth. Or just time-lapse it or something, I don't know. Anyway. I had to dig a lot of stuff up and cut down a lot of trees, which is, we have a whole bunch of hardwood back at the base now. Still all the trees I had to cut down. Place for power, oil. Still working on it. Bunch of these. I thought the way it looked really nice. Slight problem. Last one can't see that. Oh, mistake. This one can't see it either. So that one over there is the one that all these will pay out into because it's closest. That guy can't see it. So we used a couple of pipes and a few ingots to make a purely decorative building. Which I'm not really mad about. It takes... It's going to take a minute 30, or about a minute 40 to... 90 to 100 seconds to make a barrel. So every... I've got enough power over here to run 6 of these as well. That's the other issue. I've only got one combustion engine out here, and it only makes enough to run 6 of these. So there's 8 here. We're only going to run 6. Yay, efficiency. Doing fine. Doing great. I know some of you out there who play on servers and everything needs to be efficient are probably grinding your teeth at me. I'm playing single player. I can be as wasteful as I choose. So 90 seconds to make a barrel. We'll get 6 in 90 seconds. Math is hard. It's 90 divided by 6. 15. So technically a barrel every 15 seconds. This guy here will eat without modules in it. And these numbers will change when I get a star for it, which is going to be, you know, wow. Doesn't my wheels all buggered up, and I'm running on a... I should build a tier 3 house, even though the materials are plug ugly. 48 hours or more away from bone drilling. Gonna be a while. What the hell is your problem? Oh. My personal... Okay, whatever. I'll get to that. I can't use the star in forever anyway. I found you can't really run 2 refineries off of one bank of pump jacks, simply because so this guy's going to take 90 minutes to make... It's going to take 91 seconds to make a barrel of oil. Even if I get a whole bunch at once, it's going to take 90 seconds to make at least the first ones. And then everything else is done in half of that time. Right? So in that 90 seconds, 90 to 100 seconds, I'll get 6 barrels of oil. This thing will eat 4 in that time. By itself, running 6 of those and 1 of these, yes, I will have a slow... the oil production will outpace its use. Which would kind of get in the way of barrel recycling. Right, so this takes 2 barrels of petroleum. That's going to change, and it's going to kick out empty barrels. The math on this gets kind of odd. This is only ever going to make 1 because there's no spot for a module. The time taken is dependent entirely on how good the area is you're drilling. This guy fires 2 barrels, kicks the 2 barrels. There's something in the game that prevents you from having surplus barrels. And a lot of the time, you're going to have barrels just vanish. That's always been my experience. It's not just because you're turning some into gasoline, so some barrels into gasoline or into biodiesel, which will happen. there always seems to be like a net loss of barrels over time. I'd come and make a bunch. But granted, yes, it's an iron barrel. It's made out of iron ingots, iron bars. Iron breaks down over time. If it turned into barrels you could refurbish, or if they ever do implement there's supposed to be a waste mechanic at one point. Everything you do would generate waste. You had to deal with the waste. If it generated as like scrap iron or scrap metal, then you could implement that into, talking with my hands, into recycling your metal somewhere, right? Which on its own could be either a whole nother skill or additions to other buildings. It'll probably never happen, but for the sake of immersion, it would be interesting. And we are forever away from using any of this stuff. I might have to change a few things. Yeah, it's still very unfinished. I don't need to go that way. That way is just more tree. Please stop making everything dark. That way is more tree that I can kind of access from here. It doesn't get me much. This here, however, one road out of here, and that's going to be that. Yeah, probably that. Gives me access to everything across this river. But you might say, what do you need to go across this river? What's there for you? What's there for me is a mountain of copper. Copper and other stuff forests make. So on top of trees. We're not going to need a lot of copper right away. We'll need it once we get into electronics and things like that. We got to start making wires. But just prove I'm not talking about my ass. Copper. Surface copper, surface copper. My world cannot be so strange. All I do is hit random rule. Random seed. Okay? Copper there, copper. Okay? I have been here once to grow corn because I needed corn, but I haven't been back in a very long time. I needed a little bit of corn for something. I wanted to make sure I had it planted somewhere. Copper there, copper. More berries. We need a lot of huckleberries for things as we go along. Copper. There's more copper. I made a quick run through here just to make sure it was worthwhile. I know there's more copper. I seen it. I know it's here. So get past all this damn nature. Copper. And there was some here in the river. Yeah, there's copper there. They're saying, oh, I can't find copper. How you can't find copper is beyond me. My world cannot be so strangely unique that it's got copper absolutely everywhere. And yours be somehow completely devoid of copper. Can't be. Just can't. So while we make noise, there seems to be what this place mostly makes. Mostly. The lathe makes axles but requires epoxy. Those guys make gears, require epoxy. Epoxy's a couple stars away. I can, however, knock out a couple of stoves. I will have the ability to make advanced carpentry and advanced masonry tables. Now, advanced carpentry is nice. I really do like the higher tier lumber stuff. I've already started farming redwood. Yeah, redwood's got it's a really pretty color. When you start making composite lumber out of it. Advanced masonry, I really do like the look of ashlar stone. The issue is that the return on materials, 10 rocks. Oh yeah, that's a bench. This is the stone. Ashlar stone. Ashlar stone recipe. Give me the damn... Okay, fine, gneiss. But then we're gonna use it. Right? 10 gneiss, 3 mortar, and 5 steel bars gets you 1 block of any ashlar stone without any of the bonuses. Now, 10 regular stone will get me a phenomenal amount of mortared stone with a tier 4 upgrade for the specialized one. A phenomenal amount. Like I have a phenomenal amount of mortared stone. The ashlar stone recipe. Holy wow. The regular stockpile's got 25 slots. They each hold 20. D500 gets you 50 ashlar stone. It's 2.5 stacks. 2.5 stacks of stone to get you anywhere. Gets you a very nice trim in a very small room. It's very pretty. It's unfortunately very expensive. And, to date, ashlar stone is just completely divorced from the rest of the tech tree. Is it purely cosmetic material? Does it need to be used anywhere? No, I'm fine with that. I already kind of don't like that you need composite lumber to make one of the levels of modern upgrade. You have to use epoxy to make composite lumber to make, I think it's the tier 3? And then you get a tier 4, and it's plastic epoxy and circuits, which also require like plastic and epoxy. Get really pretty bricks out of it. The problem is that, well, yes, you can make a very, very nice tier 4 house out of it. By the time you can make it, you don't need the experience. Like my wheel is completely buggered up right now because like in real life, I eat too much carbs and fat. Pupusas will help remedy some of that a little in a long time, and this modifier will look a lot nicer. But one of the things that, yeah, it's ashlar stone's such a beautiful material, and so is composite lumber. They're great materials, but by the time you can make a tier 4 house, this doesn't matter anymore. None of this down here matters. By the time you get there, you're in the final push to shooting down the meteorite. And your next star doesn't matter. If you're playing in low collab, or even medium collab to that extent, we were playing on medium? I think it was medium. So we're only going to get 7 or 8 stars total along the way. By the time you get that last star, the next star is the time it's going to take to get, like, things for your 8th or 9th or whichever one. You'll have shot down the meteorite by then. You'll have won or lost the game at that point. It's really pretty, and it's only going to be useful in a game like we're playing, where I'm essentially playing Minecraft in... I'm essentially playing heavily modded Minecraft. You're right? I'm going to build a tier 3 house, just because I should. I will attempt to not make it look like a Soviet-style brutalist eyesore. I cannot guarantee how well that's going to go. It may end up looking like I've built a house out of a garage. That's not the best look. I don't quite see how you get points for having your house look like you built it in a shop, but that's the way the game works. So I have one stove, next one's up in a few seconds. This place is ready to go. There used to be I got a mint in there just as a place to fill the room in. Over here, we need some form. Should be able to do this with concrete. These kind of partial bits, right? Because the game considers this to be a one wide, two high opening, which is a door. Because these are all solid. The game counts as solid blocks. There's nothing like that in concrete. Nothing. There ought to be. There isn't. I think there's stuff like that in composite lumber. We're a long, long way from composite lumber. I still have to split this room down the middle, and then, on top of that, this requires... Here's the weird part. This requires electric power and a place for a chimney. Just want to let that sink in. This is an electrically powered stove that makes smoke. This is a coal-powered stove that does not. Because video game. Because video... it's been the same way since the first time I was the cook in a game. I don't get it. This doesn't care. The smokestack's in a room. This thing should fill the room with smoke. I'm burning coal. The black lung stove doesn't make a lick of smoke. This thing runs on power, and it must be made by Harbor Freight or something because it makes a ton of smoke. Go figure. Also, advanced cooking is... Advanced cooking is 2 stars away. I think oil is the next one I'm taking. You know what? I have a whole sign pointed out for this. I made a list. I should follow it. Where are we here? I haven't updated it. Somehow forgot to. So we're currently at advanced baking. You watching me punch keys for no reason. Quality entertainment. Save. Wait a minute, no! Oh man, I am everywhere today. We're at industry. Just literally. Beginning of the episode, took industry. There we are. We're at industry. Advanced cooking. I may swap those around. I may have to. Just because... No, I'm going to stick to it. I'll stick to it. Our next one's going to be... advanced cooking. And then oil. Because it'll give me the time between this one and that one to build a tier 3 house. Whereas if I went straight into oil, I would have to do a whole bunch of stuff to prep. To make a pile of barrels, which I'll probably do anyway. Any potential remodels over at the oil plant. Yeah, this will give me the time between now and then to build a tier 3 house and add a few more cosmetic touches to the world. Not that I need it. I'm not doing anything else with my time. But till then, I'll see you in the future. And what should I... This needs something. What does this need? A furniture store? This has been empty since like episode 6. Something needs to go here. Be a furniture store. I mean, it's what I'm doing on my tailoring anyway, right? I'll think of something. I'll think about it. You'll see it in the future. That's where I'll see you.